welcome wherever you may be to the mighty Pines of Portland, where today's match is presented by Visit Maine. And on a day where we say thank you to fathers the nation over, it's another installation of what brings us together this evening. It's the Upstart Hearts on their patch again and taking aim at USL One sitting titleist Union Omaha beneath Sunday's sun. In the USL League One, howdy folks, I'm Peyton Gallagher with the former pro Ricky Lopez Aspin. And if the first game between these two is any kind of preamble, we're in for a good one today, partner.
For Bobby Murphy and Portland Hearts of Pine, it's a confidence booster. You can go into the reigning champions and pick up points and score 2 goals. On the other side, for Dominic Casciato and the reigning champs, you're just looking for a response. So expect Union Omaha to come into this hostile environment and to get in a rhythm extremely quick.
Here's what the table is looking like, and Union Omaha will be uncomfortable where they currently sit on 11 points through 9 games. Dom Casciato, his group have won consecutive matches. The performances maybe not have been there. They will have to turn it up a notch in hostile confines. Portland have been a different looking side at home this year in the league and in the various cups.
This Portland Hearts of Pine side does have confidence. They do have talent on the roster, but for Bobby Murphy, they're just looking for consistency in their performances. And if you can find that, now the results will start to trickle in. Again, here at home, first 10 to 15 minutes crucial for Portland Hearts of Pine to get in a rhythm.
At the pointy end of the spear for Bobby Murphy, Azad Liati is leading the line. The player of watch brought to you by the High Roller Lobster Company, and Liati has scored 2 goals in the last 2 games. He also scored against Omaha in the first clash.
Azad Liati is a complete number 9. He's big, he's physical, but has very soft feet, the ability to bring in his teammates. Look for Azad Liati to be the focal point, to playing into him for Portland Hearts of Pine here today.
As for Omaha, we talked about maybe some of the inconsistency with the performance. They got the 1-0 result. This is on Thursday against Greenville Triumph at home, but only 1 shot on target. And it's going to be credited a goal to Sergio Orzavarro. Not really sure if he ever got a touch.
The most important thing for Union Omaha is to get a result against a rival, so I expect him to be confident. And especially with the way that they scored that goal, Sergio Orzavarro, he's going to be our player to watch for Union Omaha. And he's a nightmare to defend. He can play on the left-hand side. He can come centrally. You need to be the best player in the field if Union Omaha have any hopes of stealing all 3 points here on the road.
Goals will be the commodity at stake today. They will decide the tie between Portland Hearts of Pine and Union Omaha on Father's Day, ebbing closer and closer to kickoff here in Maine. I don't know why you turn the dial. Folks, it's set to be a good one. Don't go anywhere else.
Till I saw you light, and it's got me feeling like life is good, life is good, yeah. Life is good, life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like I've been walking on it.
Hey.
Hey.
Allagash White for you. Can I get you a beer?
Yeah.
Let me give you a minute. What you thinking? Choose one.
I'll go for Allagash White, too.
Nice. That's my go-to.
Start your night with Allagash White.
Today's match is brought to you by Visit Maine. Lineup cards fresh from the press, and for the home side, brought to you by NBT Bank. This is what Bobby Murphy's going with. Of course, Nathan Messer is the thing that makes it go.
The left back position, he's going to have their freedom to push up, so Juanes needs to come century to create a little bit of an overload in central locations. If that middle trio can get on the ball, now expect Leotti and Ollie Wright to be really expansive and very aggressive going forward for Bobby Murphy.
And for the roadside, Union Omaha, Don Casciato, one of the league's brightest, trying to figure things out. It's another shift of shape.
And this 4-2-3-1 gives this Union Omaha side a sense of foundation and a confidence that starts with Martinez and Schneider. Look for them to slow the game down, to dictate tempo. If they do that, that allows them to go and search the game. Add that number 10 to supply support underneath Pato Botelafaz.
Out to live pictures. One of the most vibrant atmospheres. It will be buoyant from the opening bell. Omaha on the road to face Portland Hearts of Pine. Peyton Gallagher with Ricky Lopez Espin to bring you the full breadth and width of the 90 minutes to come. Stephen Forster is the center official today. He is the one who will turn the light green. It is a soaring sound here in Maine. Up and underway. Just sits in the noise for a moment. This is quickly becoming one of the destination spots, not only in the USL, but in American soccer. Pushed wide, unable to keep it on, is Ollie Wright. And for Omaha, trying to cut their teeth in this cauldron, really the first 15 minutes trying to settle in is going to be so crucial.
A team that's full of confidence, a team that has a lot of experience underneath Dominic Casciato. So in this hostile environment, it's not going to be anything that this Union Omaha side has not seen. It starts again with that double pivot just to slow the game down and give this Omaha side some confidence going forward.
Omaha on to one in the center and a quick whistle. Chance to look at the Pape Chevrolet keys to the game.
For Portland, you have to be compact defensively. That was something that Bobby Murphy picked out on our phone call, saying this Union Omaha side, they're too good if they can get in a rhythm. So the lines need to be very tight. On the other side for Dominic Casciato, it's just, you just need to weather the storm. Settle in, and again, you're going to do that with getting on the ball and dictating tempo and connecting to passes.
Here is Chelo Martinez, who was right at the center. The goal that got Omaha ahead against Greenville. Schneider at the back post. It's fumbled. It's flapped away. And off the hook for now, Portland Hearts of Pine. A little bit nervy here from Hunter Morse in goal.
Really good ball in for Martinez, and I love the aggressive nature for Pato Botelafaz. Just slash across boards. As a goalkeeper, you need to command your 6-yard box here. You need to come out and collect this ball. Early signs for Union Omaha, how opportunistic they can be in the final third.
Pato Botelafaz just brought in. Player you're familiar with. What makes his game go?
He's just in box number 9. What Pato is, he needs to get service, he needs to get touches, so the players underneath him play into him, move off of him. He's going to be a big signing for Union Omaha.
Very active player on his debut with the club 2 matches ago. Able to create 19 touches for himself as a number 9 in just under 27 minutes of play. Kamara. Denberg back to the goalkeeper. Never seen a center back wear 7 before. Up and away. Came by Wright and played wide. Here's Messer. What are you looking for in the final third on the ball from Portland?
Really good idea from Ollie Wright, but for Bobby Murphy and Portland Hearts of Pine, they just need to be decisive. They need to be clean, 1-2 touch, let the ball do all the work, and just be ruthless because you're playing against the reigning champions in Union Omaha. If you can score that first goal, now the second goal will become that much more important to put this game to bed.
Omaha have only gained 1 point from losing positions this year. It was a calling card in their championship season last year as Morse cuts in front to collect the cross. And it's something, Ricky, that Don Casciano believes is central to the attacking ideas behind this Omaha program, tops in the league in the crossing department.
Especially when you have just the quality in the wide parts of the field with Akoff and Ostrom. They have the freedom just to create overloads higher up the field. So for Bobby Murphy, wide parts defensively, that's a tough challenge here for Brent Coleman.
Bobby Murphy said he wants the group to be blue-collar and hard-nosed. They've embodied that so far as they canter into the attack. JT Kamara with swagger and skill. Oh, that's gorgeous. And Schneider comes in with the cover. Corner kick.
Just so good, 1v1. Kamara, left footer, playing the right-hand side, so he can either go century, but can also go to the byline. Has Ostrom twisting and turning right through the legs. Right, love the positioning here from Max Schneider to double down and do his defensive duties as a center midfielder.
Prepping for a set piece. It belongs to Nathan Messer. Toms of Maine, corner kick. Played short. Something pattern and routines. Back post ball. It was a free runner. Looks like the flag may have popped up anyway. A chance to take a peek at the injury billet. Nothing too significant. Of course, Jaden Jones-Riley has been down for the large majority of the year with what appears to be season-ending injury. Omaha going to reserve goalkeeper, though, Colt Jensen today. Rashid Nuhu, back-to-back clean sheets. Not selected from the start, having played on Thursday.
Peyton, you and I were talking about that off air. So if you're Union Omaha, you need to get him confidence. So maybe it's a ball into the feet of the goalkeeper. But for Portland Hearts of Pine, you test him, and you test him early and really see if Colt Jensen is up for the task.
Some space to operate. Wada on approach. Feathered along, Messer serving in. A stiff header at the near stick. It was Brent Coleman, the veteran, who got in front back in the starting 11 today. Making only his 6th start of the year, the MLS vet. Another pass flowing into the path of Messer. It will sit up. Nobody home. And it skips away for a throw. Taking quickly. Kamara. A little bit awkward there at the back, but just enough done by Anderson Holt.
A really good run here from Messer, top side of your screen. Notice how he just takes off in terms of the timing. But as this ball plays directly out, he needs to get on his bike, center of your screen. He's just too slow. If you can crash towards that top of the 6-yard box, it's a free header. Little moments like that when you're playing against a team with the experience of Union Omaha, you need to capitalize on.
It's a bit of a barrage. Omaha forced to absorb inside the first 10 minutes. Rare that you see this program and team look sped up, but that appears to be the case early.
Been a really good start for Portland Hearts of Pine. As you see, Union Omaha, they have 2 wins away from the state of Nebraska, but here, really difficult, hostile environment, 6,000 plus in attendance here at Fitzpatrick Stadium.
Chelo Martinez in a bind. Schneider works it out well. Taken down. Mateo Faz spinning and twisting and maybe a touch too much. Look how involved Messer's already gotten. Looking for more. Unfortunately, he lost sight of the ball in the glare of his own ambition in that move. It's a throw in to come.
Just creating an overload on that left side of the field. We've seen Ollie Wright place as that left winger. We've seen Wada push out. As they come century, that allows Messer to be really aggressive. And that's a point of emphasis for Portland Hearts of Pine, as we've seen in 2025.
And that has defensive and offensive value. Pins in Akoff as well, yes?
He pins off one of the most aggressive outside backs in USL League One. Watch out here.
Ostrom in the nick of time. It was Sean Vinberg who put a foot in. And Omaha working through the gears quickly there.
Really good passage of play here for Union Omaha. Ostrom times his run to perfection. And I love how he likes to hit it first time, just trying to bend it around the back line of Hearts of Pine. Flawless positioning in the end from Vinberg.
Cello Martinez, Omaha scored 11 corner kicks last year, best in the league. It's a good delivery. Just nudged away for now. And the clearance is finalized. Play stopped. Good time to tell you the USL, the CBS Sports Network's kickoff the summer with a June 18th League One matchup. Forward Madison FC takes on newcomers Westchester SC at 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the action on the CBS Sports Network on Wednesday, June 18th. Ever expanding coverage of this league for good reason. Promotion and relegation coming in the future, and you see tonight the atmosphere that can exist in the USL League One really is second to none in many ways.
Becoming a destination league, players want to play. They're looking around and seeing the stadiums that are being built, the fans that are coming in attendance, and the quality that is in between the white lines. It's higher than it's ever been. It's going to continue to grow under the USL umbrella.
Back to Frank Coleman. And to that point, Portland Hearts of Pine just organizationally maybe the best example of that this year. Understanding the assignment, if you will, building that brand, something to connect to and be a part of as a player.
Portland Hearts of Pine does a really good job at just dipping into the community and giving them something to get behind. You and I had the ability to speak with Bobby Murphy, and he was really proud of every single player showing up for doing the community service, whether it was going for least advantaged kids, going into schools, little examples like that, that is really proud. And the result of that, now you see the amount of people that are here at Fitzpatrick Stadium.
I think the primary word there might be responsibility. Players feel that sense of commitment and what it really is requiring of them to wear this badge. Up for Schneider, the big and burly midfielder, is able to knock it down for Akoff. And just route one from Omaha. It's a faulty clearance. Mateo Foz was just a touch late. Morse, luckily alive to the danger.
We're seeing Omaha elect to play a little bit more direct into Botella Foz. Vinberg and Green need to be really clean in terms of their decision making. Give credit to Morris, quick off of his line to just put out any sort of fire. But a glimpse of how opportunistic again Bato is.
Morse had a season high 6 saves the first meeting between these two teams. Had not had more than 3 in any game prior or since. Makes a big impact there. Coleman, calm under pressure. Omaha get their shape back. Liotti hot in pursuits. This is a little bit frantic in the buildup, but it works out. Ostrom. Anderson Holtz. Schneider dropping in for a touch. A tight turn. Ors Navarro. Ostrom in from deep. Angling on to Boteo Foz. Omaha starting to grow into the game.
First time that we've seen Union Omaha just slow the game down, start to get in a rhythm a little bit. And again, it starts with Schneider just putting his foot on the ball, whether it's dropping deep, which pulls out that middle line of Portland Hearts of Pine to play into Bato Botella Foz. Last couple of minutes, Dominic Cachao needs to be really pleased with just a response from his side.
Schneider is the team leader in touches this year, averaging 66 per game. Second youngest player to lead their team in that department. Guess who the other one is? Nathan Messer.
Two quality young players on the field right now.
Flashed in towards Schneider, who got a little extra advantage with the extension of the arms.
Speaking to Bobby Murphy, He was very open about what they wanted to do defensively. They had to allow Holt and Coleman to break them down. They did not want Martinez and Schneider to get on the ball. They wanted to be really narrow and condense that central location. So expect Mikey Lopez and Poon Angeron to be really aggressive at just staying like for like with that double pivot of Union Omaha.
What does that ask of a player to do that over the course of not just the first 15 minutes, but the 90 as a whole?
You talk about the discipline, you talk about the fitness on both sides. So the challenge for Max Schneider is how can you relieve that 1v1 ability, right? What spaces can you pick up where you are a little bit more aggressive, you pull out a little bit deeper. So it's going to be really interesting just to see the decision-making of the positioning of Schneider.
Something that heading into the year, Don Casciano was really looking for him to take that step, to demand the game, to come to him. Always a difficult thing to jump that hurdle as a young player, but that's really what separates the elite young talent.
And if you do see Max Schneider drop in and play almost as that third center back, now Ors Navarro can come centrally to supply the support underneath Bato Botella Faz. So there's a lot of fluidity the way that Dominic Casciano wants his side to approach games.
Ostrom.
Again, perfect example right now how aggressive Portland Hearts of Pine are when the two center backs get the ball.
It does feel like Omaha is maybe inviting them to come onto them a little bit here to try and play in behind.
Good touch.
Akoff inverted. And the overlap. Man in the middle. It was Ors Navarro making that incisive run. Pass was not placed with enough precision and out for a throw.
Starts with a really clever touch here from Akoff just to change the point of attack, which allows Wooten to be really aggressive from his wide parts of the field. You need a secondary movement underneath Bato Botella Faz. Ors Navarro needs to crash towards the 18-yard box.
And that's the rotation, the fluidity you were talking about. Into the area, skipped along. Not all the way clear. And just inches wide. Let's take another look at that.
Set piece is really important when you're on the road for Union Omaha, not creating a lot through the run and play. And sometimes it's not the initial ball, but it can be the secondary wave that can really hurt teams. You expect a player the quality of Ors Navarro to hit the target from about 13 yards out. It falls so kindly to him, just pulls it wide, but good action again for Union Omaha.
And on approach again, Akoff. Akoff! It stings the gloves. The second effort, and Schneider stroked it wide. The goal was gaping.
Getting more influential, like Schneider, and results of that Union Omaha being very aggressive at just forcing turnovers. And notice the way that he approaches this ball when it falls to him. His hips are already too open. He just keeps them that whole way. Result of it, pulls it just wide. But again, a player of his quality should be finding the back of the net from about 15 yards out.
Went for the midfielder's finish, tried to pass it into the bottom corner. Omaha, though, knocking on the door. This is a real sticky period in the game right now for Portland Hearts of Pine. A clattering, and honestly, Portland will probably welcome the chance to collect themselves.
Smart here from Kamara. Good feet to collect this ball. Then he takes a contact. He goes down and just slows the game down, takes a sting out of Union Omaha. Like you said, Peyton, just gives this Portland Hearts of Pine ability to breathe and collect himself again.
And you know, watching the finals, the NBA finals, I think people talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning fouls and that being a skill. Maybe not talked enough about in soccer, that ability to just take the tension out of the game, win the foul, and give yourself the chance to get up the field.
The ability to manage the game within the game, so crucial, and that's when you get all those experience that comes out.
Portland Hearts of Pine doing their best to make it stick. Now they get on the ball. Swept wide. Quinonez, and he's lost the handle. Another faulty pass from Coleman. Is just about dodged away from danger. Another whistle. Steven Forster's been much more involved over this last 5 to 10 minutes.
Just both sides seem a bit uncomfortable with the possession. Botella Faz doing a good job at just using his body and he goes down. He makes the most of it, Bato does. It's a nice little battle that we have between Vinberg and Botelefaz, two physical players.
The back heel from Akoff doesn't come off. Only Wright unable to dispatch the ball, and it's a throw-in for Omaha. Botelefaz. Messer grapples it back and gets clear. Ostrom. Ostrom. Spins one down the line. Held up by Flores Navarro. It's a throw in for Portland. That's the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Detroit City FC face off against Miami FC on June 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern. USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Miami FC in 2025 winning games. Of course, Portland fans will know Detroit very well. That Jägermeister Cup clash, a famous result for this group in the early going.
Miami FC probably the biggest of surprise in 2025, especially in the championship, with the turnaround that they've had. Just seem like they are real competitors in the Eastern Conference.
Every time I see the result come in for Miami FC, I check the window and make sure there are no pigs flying across the sky. But it's the reality in this league, and why the prospect of promotion and relegation is so exciting now as we move towards that in the near-handed horizon.
It also tells you just the competition, how much higher it's becoming, and how quickly you can bring in players to give and just kickstart whatever was going on. That's a really good ball over the top here.
Akoff. Omaha with the scent. Akoff looking to cross. Great recovery from Ollie Wright, but it is out for a corner.
Union Omaha is finding some success when they play over the top into Botelefaz or Akoff, and they're doing a really good job at just slowing the game down, which allows their teammates to come underneath and support them. Really dangerous set piece, 21 minutes in for the visiting side.
Ostrom has 3 assists on the year. They've aimed for Max Schneider the first couple times from the flag. Nearly halfway through half one with in swing. And with a false start. Looks like Mikey Lopez is the one tasked with immediately marking Max Schneider. That picture speaks volumes. In by Ostrom. Met by the knuckle of Morse. Omaha go again. And glance out for a goal kick.
Especially with how dominant Union Omaha is on set pieces. If you are Bobby Murphy, the message to your defenders is try not to put it out for a corner kick. If you can clear your lines, probably the better decision. Bato holds Coleman, all players, Schneider as well, very dominant, and will be the focal point when playing into the dangerous area.
And that maybe is what Botelefaz gives them, that point of contact, that fulcrum to build off of if they do choose to go direct like that.
And we've seen Dominic Asciato's side elect to do that on numerous occasions, and yet again here.
Rushing on again. How long can Portland Hearts of Pine hang on to the ledge at this pace? Blow for blow. It's really been hemmed in for the last 15 minutes or so, it feels like. Another corner. And realistically, as it actually is going to be out for a throw, a team of the quality of Omaha, you can't just let them sit on the edge of the attacking third for extended periods. You will be punished. Flores Navarro, ambitious and not off by much.
Just instinctual here for Flores Navarro. On the score sheet last game against Greenville, so full of confidence. And again, it's that secondary action that continues to really ask some questions to Portland Hearts of Pine. Tries to go for this spectacular, hits it well, but just a bit over the crossbar. Again, starting to flex their muscle, Union Omaha, especially on set pieces.
How exhausting is it as a player to be out there and have the opposition winning every 50-50 like Omaha are right now?
So if you are Bobby Murphy, you have to look at your leaders and just say you need to put a body on any Omaha player, just make it a little bit difficult. And if the secondary action doesn't happen, again, just really sloppy, unable to win their individual duels and connect any sort of passes.
Ostrom on a drive. Urs Navarro just left wide.
You are Mikey Lopez, and you come across, you need to win this ball. Just really slippery right through the legs from Ostrom right here, which opens up the whole game. I love this secondary movement from Urs Navarro. Everyone's coming. Sentry, he pulls off. Finberg doing a good job at just closing down the angle at the last second. Urs Navarro pulls it wide.
Liotti wins the whistle. And the referee looks to have gone to the pocket. It's a booking for Anderson Holt. That maybe more than anything is to simmer tensions a little bit.
And it's the first time that we've seen Portland Hearts of Pine play into Liotti. Only 4 touches through the first 30 minutes of this game. Number 9 that has the ability to peel off his individual marker. Good feet. Not what you want, a center back on a yellow card for Dominic Casciato.
The yellow is brought to you by the law offices of Joe Bornstein. And that's something to track. Anderson Holt will sit on that booking for the duration of the game. We saw Marco Milanese pick up a yellow card early on in the first half against Greenville. Sent off in the second half after committing a second cautionable offense. Schneider, a touch of class. Urs Navarro, Botello Foz, passes that rhyme from Union Omaha. Ostrom cutting in, blocked by Botello Foz. That was the only thing that could have gotten in the way of Omaha there. Schneider in from deep. Wooten set up, and Chelo Martinez has stung it wide.
Center of the field right now for Portland Hearts of Pine, just wide open. Mikey Lopez, Punandron need to do a better job at just staying at home and just blocking passing lanes, because too many times it's not the initial ball, but it's a secondary ball, whether it is Schneider or Martinez arriving late, that's been causing some issues. Fortunate for Bobby Murphy and the home side, Union Omaha just has not been clinical the first 26 minutes here.
And just in saying that, partner, looking at the underlying numbers, those two pivot players for Portland Hearts of Pine have only combined for 29 total touches.
Need to do a better job, especially Mikey Lopez, the experience that he has throughout his career. His positioning will be crucial, which allows Punandron to be a little bit more aggressive, but defensively you need a presence in front of your 2 center backs.
Portland need a player to make a difference right now. Somebody to move the needle. Linesman points in favor of Omaha. Patrick Shane, Trevor Haddock, the ones running the lines today. Stephanie McFarland, the one calibrating the board. In by Wooten, his manager watching on. A loose first touch from Brent Coleman. He's casually played it back to the goalkeeper Jensen and maybe been bailed out a bit by an over-ambitious Hassan Liotti, starving for a touch.
Uncharacteristic here from an experienced center backer. Brent Coleman just tries to do a little bit too much with the initial ball in. And this action speaks volumes to the striker that Liotti is. Will hunt down everything and just cause some issues and chaos for any opposing back line.
Jensen to set it back underway. From tip to tail, a lot of size in this Union Omaha setup today. As it slides out of touch. Portland haven't been that good this year in terms of winning games. When they have had more of the possession, they've been a much better counterattacking side. That's been true widely for Don Casciano throughout his career. But coming off the back of consecutive victories, they're playing with a little bit more confidence and dominating the game through the ball.
It's the second time we've seen Messer miss Ollie Wright. Just really sloppy from Portland Hearts of Pine in terms of their possession and their decision making. Whether they are stepping a little bit aggressively, leaving too many gaps centrally, that's why you start to see a Union Omaha get into rhythm, especially with the likes of Max Schneider and Martin essentially.
This must be so unaccustomed to the faithful here in attendance today. They have seen their side play 3 sheets for the win every time they've taken the pitch here in their home grounds. They have absorbed quite a few body blows 30 minutes in. Still making the same volume of noise though. Schneider scoping one out. Maybe this is the chance to expand an attack for Portland Hearts of Pine. Flashing forward, Liotti. The flag will stay down. Azad Liotti. Smartly back. Shot from range, curling and hooking and out for a goal kick.
Just difficult angle for Mikey Lopez to drop this ball into the path of Wada. That's what you need your center midfielder just to play simple, keep the ball moving, and keep the game moving so you can open up gaps to really then penetrate through Union Omaha's defensive set.
Teams fighting for possession. It's a game of tennis right now. Finally controlled in the mid-park. Back to Jensen. Botello Foz again the target. And tidy work on the ball. Ollie Wright. That's what he offers. They start to pull the passes together. Bobby Murphy kind of balked at the notion that they're a counter-attacking program in Portland. He said he wants his side to be good with the ball and play pretty stuff. And Ricky, you've seen it firsthand in that Detroit game.
How good they can be. There's glimpses of when this team is confident and when they're decisive and when the ball is moving, that they can play with the best of them. They can break through any defensive set, but now you need to do that on a consistent basis. Over the last couple passes right now, you start to see growing some confidence, but then it breaks down. If you're Ollie Wright, take a first touch, slow it down, connect your passes, because that's when you're at your best, and that's when you can really test this Omaha back line.
Urgency is not a bad thing. Hurriedness is.
Exactly. You have to be patient in the way that you approach the game, but play very quickly. And then playing quickly, it all comes down to your technical ability. Your first touch needs to be good, which allows you to pass the ball with your second touch.
Ostrom. Much of the play has come through him. Wingback's always a conduit. Again, it's that infield run from Akoff. But maybe a chance to break as Portland take hold of the ball. It might have been a wise foul. Every incentive to go along, though. Ollie Wright chipping one in. And shepherded away from danger by Omaha. Able to just outfox the oncoming Ostrom. Nunez takes it back for Portland. Azad Liotti, a rare touch. He has not had much access to the game so far. Served in, over Jensen, and it trickles wide. Out of nothing, a chance for Portland.
Good recognition here from Wada, as Holt is just a little bit slow to read the flight of this ball. Just notice at the last second, just slashes into the interior, up the left shoulder. Cole Jensen, he's caught off. If this is on target, it's 1-0 Portland Hearts of Pine, but those are little instances that you need to be on the front foot if you want to find the back of the net.
Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Not going to have much success finding one here today, though.
Talked about the struggles for Portland Hearts of Pine and on the ball in possession, but we also have to give a lot of credit to Union Omaha defensively. How quickly they get all 11 players behind the ball, make life very difficult, and that has been something that we've come to accustomed to. That's a bad giveaway.
Chance to break things down for Portland Hearts of Pine, but right on cue. Great recovery there at the back.
Perfect example of what we just talked about, how quickly they do their defensive duties and just
kept on a collision. It was a little bit, maybe overly showy, you might say, from Ostrom trying to backheel it, lost the ball, and it somehow stayed between the lines. Foul was committed. Looks like it might have been Schneider, fortunate to escape without having his name taken.
Just trying to overcomplicate here, Ostrom, no need, but watch the right arm of Schneider right there, extended away from his body. There is a little bit of contact to Kamara. He goes down, definitely makes the most of it. It wins a really interesting location for Portland Hearts of Pine. This ball needs to be pumped on right on top of that 6-yard box to really test Cole Jensen and cause some chaos in front of him.
And all of a sudden, as Portland Hearts of Pine maybe reversing some of the flow of the game. Nathan Messer with plenty of quality to cause some havoc in the final 10 minutes of the first half. Effectively a corner. Search short, Wada. Ollie Wright. Back into Wright, who plows wide for Wada. And too much carriage beyond the reach of even Azad Liati.
Just wasteful for Portland Hearts of Pine, especially when you're not creating through the run of play. Set pieces are a really good way just to put the ball into the mixer and just see what happens. First it's Ollie Wright, then it's Wada taking a little bit too long, which just plays into the hands of Union Omaha and their two dominant center backs.
Portland are one of 3 teams in the league yet to score a corner this year, but they have scored 3 free kicks on the season indirectly. So we know that they have it in them, just not on that occasion. Ostrom, green grass in front.
Just look at the space in between lines. Center circle of Union Omaha.
Flags down, Akoff's in. Dion Akoff! Union Omaha blur in behind and make it 1-0. Some questions will be asked the linesman. Akoff again inverted and carves the whole thing open.
Just has a really good feel being at the right place at the right time. Akoff, left side of your screen, but notice where Messer is. That line tells you he is onside by about half of a yard. And as he goes full head of steam, he just slows the game down to get his body right. Notice how he just slows it down and opens up his hips and simply guides it into that far post. No chance for Morse, and just like that, Union Omaha through their right back get the lead here on the road.
And that was the point of emphasis for Bobby Murphy. The what just happened goals. Case in point.
Needs to be frustrating for Hearts of Pine. Messer's looking down his line. He needs to do a better job at just staying with his 2 center backs. If they step, you need to step. If they drop, you drop. Everything you do as a defensive unit needs to be in unison. If not, you're going to get punished.
Omaha, since the maybe moment of opportunity to really open the game up. Schneider disguising a pass wide for Ostrom, who swivels in. Ostrom! Straight into the clutch of a grateful Hunter Morse.
Really good little action here for Ostrom. Notice how he just drops his shoulder and just creates a little bit of separation. Flawless positioning from Morse to stay central of his goal.
One question's been asked of Union Omaha. How do they replace Steven Dos Santos, Pedro Dolabella? Apparently it's just give the ball to the wingbacks and get out of the way.
Let them do all the creative work, going 1v1, just causing some havoc. It tells you about the confidence that Dominic Casciano has been able to instill in every single one of his players.
Omaha starting to feel like Omaha again after a rocky start. A chance to make a season best, 3 consecutive victories. They can hold on to this goal they've earned. They've won the last 2 by the same scoreline, 1-0. Of course, they had Rashid Nuhu in goal for those 2 games. Not the case today. Reigning USL League One Player of the Week. That's a bit of a hapless header. Liotti is left behind it. Liotti turning and burning. He goes down, does not get the call.
Just having a really difficult time right now. Bobby Murphy's side at just supporting Razad Liotti every single time he gets on the ball. It seems like he's on an island. So if you are Kamara, Wada, or Ali Wright, you need to come underneath him so he can play you the ball and then just take off. Really difficult for a center back or for a striker to deal with 2 center backs that are just man marking you.
That might be the added value of that back 4 today. Less channels to exploit for a player like Liotti. Makeoff again, articulating and threading wide. Ostrom stung one in right into that corridor of indecision. Portland do meet this particular moment. There's a risky pass, it comes good. And Portland get out from the back.
It's the first time that we've seen Kamar break the line with his passing.
Straight away. A twist, a turn. The ball tilted into the box, and again, it's just a bit rudderless in the final action.
The decision making, the execution, and the technical ability continues to lack in the final third for Hearts of Pine. Just asking for someone to produce a little bit of individual brilliance, whether it is a combination play or just a strike from distance. You haven't really tested Cole Jensen. And like you mentioned, Peyton, a goalkeeper that doesn't have a lot of experience, especially within USL League One.
Karam in the mid-park. Game of pinball breaks out. Omaha trying their best to attach themselves. Instead, it's the home team. Messer, a pirouette. Just pushes it out of play. Just on the note of that creativity, that spark, that's what Matty James was brought in to bring on international call-up with Trinidad and scoring goals, assisting goals for them. Unfortunately for Portland, I wish he was doing it in their colors today.
So now for a player, Portland Hearts of Pine, you look at this opportunity and say, I can be that next guy up. I can take that responsibility on my shoulders and be that difference maker under Bobby Murphy so he can instill that trust and have that trust in me once teams get tough and the going gets harder. Again, really sloppy from Vinberg here.
Swooping in, Ors Navarro, a well-spotted pass. Botello Foz returned. Fortunate for Portland Hearts of Pine, it was Kamali Green that tracked it the whole way.
This right side of the back line for Portland Hearts of Pine between Quinones and Vinberg need to be a little bit more connected within their spacing. Too many sloppy giveaways when trying to play out of the back.
Ostrom preparing to throw. Not a lot of room to push in the long one. Just get it into the box. Fans right on top of the ground here. Not all the way clear. And finally, a foul to loosen the tension. Bobby Murphy. This has gone exactly how he would have hoped it would not today. All the things that he told us he might have been concerned about in conversation building into this game, they played out in real time. And Portland have it all to do against one of the league's best, Union Omaha. There's Bobby Murphy. I believe he was wearing a hoodie that said "neat," period. I can't imagine he's feeling that way right now.
Needs to be really frustrated with his side in 43 minutes. Unable to really create any goal-scoring opportunities, get in the rhythm and something, especially at home where they've been so good.
Maybe a bit of scrap metal is the remedy for Portland Hearts of Pine, but Liotti can't tame it. Looking wide as Wada. Settling into their staccato on the ball. Portland Hearts of Pine and jammed out for a throw. Lopez. Do Portland have the lock pick ahead of halftime? Messer carving free. There's only one man in the box.
Just need more options and more players showing the willingness to wanting to get on the end of the ball. It's only Liati against this back four of Union Omaha. On the other side, Pato Botella Falls is doing a good job at just being a hold-up number 9. Requires so much attention, has soft feet. A lot of contact between him and Green, and he goes down, allowing his side just to release some of this pressure.
Only 2 teams in the league have yet to score a headed goal this year. One of them is Portland Hearts of Pine. Not sure the aerial approach is going to come good against such a dominant and physical side in Union Omaha. What have you thought of the back four from Don Casciano today?
Been solid. They've been solid in terms of their individual duels. Comfortable on the ball in some instances over as the first half has progressed. They've gotten more comfortable at understanding the areas they can really bypass the pressure of Portland Hearts of Pine. But in a hostile environment like this, you need to lean on a player like Brett Coleman that has had so much experience at this level, at the MLS level. He's done a good job at leading that back line.
Imagine at this point Omaha happy to sit back and allow this one to transgress beyond stoppage time and into the locker room. Andron. Holly Wright fizzing one in.
Well done there from Wooten.
Navarro is dispossessed. Portland hunting in packs. Overlaps there for Messer. Liati again roaming into the area. I can't imagine that was the desired effect from Messer.
Just continues to break down for the home side in and around that final 18-yard box. You need your side to be a little bit more composed and just slow things down. With too many times it's the wrong decision, getting rushed, and the execution starts to lack.
Into a singular minute of Visit Main stoppage time. Omaha have been good for their lead. Portland will have to look in the mirror, figure out what is required of them in the term of minerals and material to come back. Bobby Murphy straight to the dressing room, and it's Omaha flying high in the state of Maine.
If you're Dominic Casciano, you are the happier of the two managers just simply because of the result. Through the run and play, both teams trying to figure things out. For Portland Hearts of Pine, it needs to start essentially. Mikey Lopez, Andron need to do a better job at becoming a little bit more influential at getting Liati the ball. If you do that, now you can find success. Big 45 coming up.
A testing of the metal on tap, and the 45 to come with 45 down in front of 6,000 plus here in Portland. It has been pulsing in the Northeast. 1-0 at the intermission. More halftime coverage coming to you when we return.
Nice and slow. Right. So elbows back.
Most homeowners have it somewhere in their house. It's that one bad window. It's drafty, or maybe it sticks or leaks. You'd love to replace it, but think, no company is coming out for just one lousy window. And truthfully, most companies won't. But we're Renewal by Andersen, and we'll replace just one window. Call Renewal by Andersen today for a free window and door diagnosis. 207-804-4500.
Broccoli is my favorite thing. That's the OG superfood right there.
Fresher is healthier. So Hannaford has that going for them with us in Maine.
We've been doing business with Hannaford for
my whole life. Our roots here in Aroostook County are very deep.
We were a potato family until broccoli was introduced. We'll cut something today and literally we'll be at the store tomorrow. It doesn't get any better than that.
At PAPE, we've dedicated over 50 years to making sure you do better. That means better prices you can always count on. It means you'll find extensive inventory. It means you can expect top-notch service. And most of all, it means you'll work with a team that listens to what you need and makes it a priority. So why are we so driven to make sure you do better? Because at PAPE, the only thing we love more than cars is people.
Here's the break. So finally be ducking themselves down here on Father's Day to try and find a resolve to come from behind against Union Omaha. Hearts may be one of the youngest teams in the USL League One, but that doesn't mean the roster lacks a father figure or three. Here's straight from the players about who is the grandpa, who is the unk, and who is, well, the annoying unk. Happy Father's Day from the Hearts family to yours.
The dad of the squad has to be Sean. Just has to be.
He's gonna be mad at this, but Mikey maybe?
Definitely Mikey.
I think it's a three-way tie between myself, Jay Keegan, and Mikey Lopez.
Dad of the group, I'd say, is Mikey Lopez. Doesn't have a kid yet, but he'd be a great father.
There's three. You've got Jake, Mikey Lopez, and Sean Vinberg.
Dad of the group? Jake.
Pat and Mikey are the co-parenting dads of the group for sure.
Me and my four siblings, we had a little rough go at it. As a repercussion, sports was a no-go. Recently, my boys invited me to the Hearts Spine game.
He was like, Jonah, are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, Dad, I would stand in a hurricane for this.
No matter how we feel about ourselves, all it takes sometimes is just somebody gives you that opportunity to thrive.
Wait, come back! Wait, come back, I need more help.
Take a loan, my friend. Take a loan for free.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
Inside, bang! Out in front, Westchester.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Focus! Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power.
Whatever it takes.
Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain.
Let's make a Karate Kid.
And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
at the Hannaford halftime, where Portland Hearts of Pine are a goal behind Union Omaha at the intermission. News and notes from around the league. Plenty to talk about regarding the sphere of influence. As for what's to come here in the USL, the experience presented by El Jimador Spiked Bebidas is a video docuseries that shows the history, the passion, and community of USL clubs and their supporter groups. The latest episode showcases Forward Madison and their support group, The Flock. It is available on youtube.com/USL on June 17th. Take a peek.
The stakes are higher. You know what's on the line.
We're here to support the crest, the club, and the community.
This is what the Henny Derby's all about.
I don't know about other people, but I kind of get goosebumps.
We show up no matter what the weather is. In the snow, 35 degrees.
The club has developed, the team has developed, so has the fan base.
People in this town love this team, pack these stands out for every single game.
Lays one across, into long. He does it again. The unstoppable scorer notches the first for Naples.
Enjoy from distance, force. The save from Matt Levy. That was fired in with pace.
Dashes free, curls it into the area, on the back post, headed loose. Oh, turned away by Garcia. Did it cross the end line? Union Omaha says it did. Wow, they will not get the call. Javier Garcia making a winning play. Lifted long towards Castro. Castro brings it down. Oh, what a save! Javier Garcia.
At LL Bean, we've been innovating for over a century, making great products better so you can feel better. Day after day, year after year. Outside together since 1912. LL Bean. Be an outsider.
I'm David Libby, President and CEO of Town & Country Federal Credit Union. At Town & Country, we work hard to make a difference every day. From providing a first auto loan to that young adult just starting out, or making the dream of home ownership a reality with a mortgage offering closing costs well below nearly every other local lender, or a Visa credit card with a great rate. Town & Country Federal Credit Union is local people helping local people. Let us help you.
This just in, Union Omaha Soccer is back at Werner Park. It's Pride Night and Pups on the Pitch on June 25th. Come and show off your colors, and don't forget to bring your furry friend. Whether it's the heart-stopping action, delicious concessions, or your Owls, the 2024 USL League One champions electrify the pitch. You don't just watch the action, you are the action, and we can't wait to see you. One city, one club, one means all.
Today's match is brought to you by Allagash Brewing Company. Back here at the Hannaford halftime, where it sits 1-0 between Portland Hearts of Pine and Union Omaha. Highlights from the first half are brought to you by Kennebec Savings Bank, and Union Omaha have certainly been investing in some offense in recent weeks. They find the back of the net later on in the half, but as for now, it's just signs of mounting pressure.
For Dominic Casciato, you need to be pleased because you were the more threatening side and asking more questions of the opposing goalkeeper Morris. This back line of Portland Hearts at Pine, but it was really sloppy for Bobby Murphy and company. Again, Mikey Lopez, Quinn Andron unable to get his first touch, and Haycock, he was asking some real questions and causing some real issues. Mike Schneider, he's going to want this one back. He should be hitting the target from about 13 yards out. Again, you'll see sloppy from Portland Hearts of Pine, and now Union Omaha on the attacking. And notice a secondary movement for Ors Navarro as he peels out, but Vinberg doing a good job at the last second, leaving his fleet, which just closes down the angle and only gives that near post area, and he just pulls it wide.
If you pay attention closely to that last play, you'll see Dion Akoff cheating into a space that he would strike from later in the half. As for now, Portland Hearts of Pine unable to generate much in the way of chances. This was the closest they came.
This comes with the Wada anticipating and just getting into the wrong side of Holton. Nearly beats Cole Jensen, and finally the breakthrough comes for Union Omaha. As this ball plays centrally left side of your screen, Akoff, he's onside. Messer needs to step with the two center backs, clear as day, about half of a yard onside, and now it's all about collecting yourself and just slowing the game down. Notice how he has a little bit of a pause, which gets his feet set. He simply just opens up that far post, and it's a great composed finish to get his second on the year and to give Union Omaha their 1-0 lead walking into halftime.
Here's the tail of that tape brought to you by Memic, and when you don't have any shots on target, it's hard to score goals.
Almost impossible to score goals for Portland Hearts to find. Possession 51% for the home side, but now what do you do with that possession? You need possession with the purpose for Bobby Murphy. You need to play a little bit more direct into Liati, Ollie Wright, get them more influential. If you do that, now you can instill some confidence going forward for Union Omaha and Dominic Casciato. Again, if you could slow the game down and take the sting out of this hostile environment, now with your experience and your quality, you can take over.
So into the second half we go. For now, it appears Portland is unchanged. Dom Casciato will shuffle the deck. He brings in Joe Gallardo to replace Sergio Ors Navarro. Very different profile. I wonder what the ever-foxy Dominic Casciato is playing at here. Joe Gallardo has been one of the most accomplished goal scorers for this team. Scored in the first game against Portland this year. Much more technical, much more fluid type of player flanking Mateo Faz at the front ends. What is Bobby Murphy looking for in his side in this first 5 minutes or so?
Just their confidence to play forward. I think it was just too sloppy for Portland Hearts of Pine, too hesitant, unable to really find their identity. And in doing that, you need Mikey Lopez to be the player that pulls a string from a deep line position.
Yet to see that customary home spark from the home side. As the sun sets, maybe they get going. Play back to the goalkeeper. And substitution is brought to you by $3 Dewey's.
Good. That's a good little bargain, $3.
In this economy?
Sign me up.
Portland in motion. Taken down by Schneider. Such grace for such a big frame. Ostrom, again, engineering. And straight into the contest is Joe Gallardo. Schneider. Well, that's a special pass, but it just sticks beneath the feet of Chelo Martinez there. And now Messer. We didn't see this much in the first half. Portland willing to play the ball around in their own half.
And in doing that, they're just baiting out that front line of Union Omaha in hopes to get Punandron and Mikey Lopez on the ball a little bit more in between lines. And that is what Bobby Murphy wants, his side to break lines, to be methodical within their possession. But in doing that, you need to be clean and you need to connect your passes to get in a rhythm.
This is a long phase of build-up. It only takes one bounce of the ball to tilt the whole thing on its head. As Portland fans are finding out firsthand, that's why we all fall in love with this game after all. Looped in for Messer. In a pocket is only Wright. Now they go direct. Liotti is lurking. Ollie Wright. Messer room to cross. Keeps it on the floor. Ollie Wright still running. Wow, what a goal! Ollie Wright's ignition. Portland up and running 1-1. That's what he's there to do.
Great goal for Portland Hearts of Pine. You bypass the initial line of pressure, you play into Liotti, and that now gets Union Omaha retreating towards their goal line. And what leaves that space about 12 yards out, but this is just instinctual from Ollie Wright. You cannot teach the ability to be comfortable in tight spaces and send not one, but two Union Omaha players to the ground and then have the composure to beat Cole Jensen at his near post. You're not going to see a better goal than this from Ollie Wright. And just like that, 5 minutes after halftime, Portland Hearts of Pine draw this game 1-1.
Goal brought to you by Town & Country. And the town is talking. These are the Hearts they know and love.
Whatever we saw Bobby Murphy say at halftime really struck a chord with his side. Again, on the ball, just seemed more confident, seemed more at ease, and not having the ability to try to hit the home run ball. It was just really simple pulling out Union Omaha. That's when you play into Azad Liotti and you make your move and you're ruthless in the final third. Great goal from the home side.
And maybe lost in the wash of all of that is Messer at the controls, setting up the chance again. Foul given.
It's the recognition from Messer to see the back line retreating, so the space is on the cutback. Decision making flawless from every single one of the players involved in that goal.
Mikey Lopez quick into the book to start the second half. The referee likely to be a little bit less restrained, more liberal with those cautions in the second half. Chelo Martinez, the one who was chopped down.
Just comes in late, Mikey Lopez. Mistimes his challenge and catches Martinez. So big challenge in terms of the discipline of the experienced center midfielder for Portland Hearts of Pine.
Schneider could go for goal if he is, well, it's pretty deep. Then again, it's a pretty good player. 50 minutes in, he does go for goal and skips into the lap of Hunter Morse. Messer. And emboldened Ollie Wright. How does that shift the gears for Union Omaha, immediately conceding the goal that you earned in that advantage?
The message for Dominic Castellanos is continue the same thing that we've been doing. Continue to get on the ball and really take the sting out of this side, because it's been all one-way traffic for Portland since coming after the break.
Pulse pumping for Portland's. Wada! Easy meet for the goalkeeper, Jensen.
No coincidence as well that you start to see the attack start to take shape for Portland Hearts of Pine if you bring in Azad Liotti, because he occupies the two center backs of Holt and Coleman, which allows the other players to be a little bit more aggressive, whether it is Ollie Wright or Wada. Just notice how more connected this Portland Hearts of Pine side is. Coleman steps up. It's a tough challenge from Schneider. No ill will, but Zaliati's not going to feel good after that. A little coming together.
It just feels like it's coming with a bit more ease in attack right now for Portland. Confidence in spades. A goal will do that for you. And there's Wada, playing for the first time this season outside of his native Japan. As Liati Maloney from Lexington exits for further examination. Coleman marching the side ahead. Recovered by Messer. Or maybe not. Bodies up and bustling for Union Omaha. Ball out of play. Flag points in favor of Los Pujos. Omaha have been last in the league this year in terms of substitutions per game. Right ahead of them, Portland Hearts of Pine, the bottom two. Both just under 3.5 per 90. Ball into the box. And that is what is available in terms of clearance. In by Knapp. This is a bit nervous right now from Portland. And the whistle comes in a good moment as Liati is back amongst the fray. Ricky, at halftime you remarked to me that the game felt like it didn't have much rhythm, much flow or connectivity. Seeing a little bit more of that maybe to start the second half.
Especially through the home side. And just notice how deep Punandron and Mikey Lopez are sitting. What that does, that allows the center backs more of an option to play into, right? So now you have the service to play in between lines. Now Ollie Wright, Wada, Liati, and Kamara can be more aggressive at playing up the shoulder of Schneider and Martinez, just because that double pivot is deeper at pulling out that midfield line of Union Omaha. Bobby Murphy doing a good job at tactically changing some things, and it just comes to spacing.
It's almost addition by subtraction, just less players in the area equals more space, correct?
100%.
Stabbed away by Messer. Ollie Wright gets involved. Messer onto it. It's a real battle now. And Messer is fouled by Schneider.
And it's a perfect example of just the grass that Schneider needs to cover. That's your center midfielder for Union Omaha towards the sideline. That needs to be Akoff putting that challenge in. And again, spaces start to open up right now for Wada and Portland Hearts of Pine.
In then out, Messer off the deflection. Circling in for a touch. Kamara with the baton. Once more finding space between lines. Now Liati. Liati in tight spaces, and it's a throw for Portland Hearts of Pine. Held up well. Liati does have to do something with it though, and Chelo Martinez fails to get all the way clear. Skyscraping in behind, maybe lost in the sun a little bit. A shoot away by Brandon Knapp. A simmering atmosphere. Portland, if you're just now joining us, quick to equalize, erasing a deficit suffered in the first half by way of A wonderful solo goal from Ollie Wright. Akoff scored in the first frame, and that is what defines the conditions as Knapp distributes long. It looks like Union Omaha may be playing something of a back three now. Ostrom on the run. Schneider slides in. Some jaw-jacking, pushing and shoving. It's a yellow card to Schneider. Felt like that might be coming.
Bit of frustration now for the captain of Union Omaha, Max Schneider. Had a really difficult time, especially in this second half, figuring out where he goes into, and the challenge is how he goes into. There's no real need to push the ball away. He knows exactly what he's doing, because initially the challenge is spot on from Schneider. To think a player of his experience should not be getting pulled into any off-the-ball activity.
Yellow card brought to you by the law offices of Joe Bornstein. Schneider wearing the captain's armbands now. Also being told that Sean Vinberg has been booked in that exchange as well. Referee doing his best just to keep a lid on things. These teams are starting to really clench their jaw. Here's Vinberg. A searching ball in behind, aimed at Liotti. Can't take it off. A sturdy bit of defensive work from Anderson Holtz. Who wants it more? In the short term, it's Portland Hearts of Pine. Liotti off the back heel. Nobody there to receive. Ollie Wright hadn't read the same scripts. And swooping into Wooten. Akoff is the only one in the region. Easy clutch for Hunter Morse.
Good ball there.
Plowing wide. Messer. It falls for Ollie Wright. Served in. Stepped away at the penalty spot. It was anxious defending inside the penalty area. Messer with a sense. But that ball does not match the moment. And the goalkeeper will take it down. A chance to look back at the goal that completely changed the complexion.
Just want you to watch the movement of Azad Liotti. As he kickstarts, he continues his run, and now he requires so much attention. Both center backs drop with him, which allows Ollie Wright that little pocket of space. Yes, it's a brilliant pick out from Messer, and even better individual skill from Ollie Wright. But this whole action starts with Azad Liotti.
On the prowl though now, Union Omaha. Wooten struggling to sort it out. Set up wide for Ostrom. Checks the rear view, and now Gallardo. Ball blasted into Akoff. It was nearly him again. It's a goal kick though. It was a dangerous ball. It was a Select ball, and Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Ricky, I'm told, Select, it's the player's
choice. Always.
It's what they say. Omaha putting that ball to work for them now. Knapp, a little wriggle out of danger. Schneider falls on it, and he has every incentive to play quick. Space opening. That probably was not the best use of it.
Wrong decision from Joe Gallardo. You have acres of space over your left shoulder. Ostrom makes a clever run. If you just play the simple ball, now you can get yourself into a dangerous area. It's heads-up play from Schneider just to see both center midfielders for Portland Hearts of Pine out. You play quickly in between lines.
What's been the reason Omaha have had so little success building through the middle of the field?
I think just the spacing of Punandron and Michael Lopez has been so much better in the second half, and that's a handball. In that first half, they were occupying the same sort of space. Both players were getting caught out, whether too high, too wide, but now they're just splitting the difference. Notice as Mikey Lopez is playing on the right-hand side, Punandron, his responsibility is left, and vice versa. As one steps forward, the other one is that single pivot, Exhibit A, right now on your screen.
He links up. Now wide for Messer. Trying to find the space for a cross ahead of Wooten. Swivels in. And Jensen is there to put gloves to it. It's that inside motion to get outside. That's what really Bobby Murphy said has been the core of the attacking identity, and it's what's helped them back into the game in the second half of play. Messer coming off 102 touches against Chattanooga in the last match. For Portland Hearts of Pine, he might rival that at this trajectory. Talk about the concept of having the 100-touch man, the guy that can have the ball at his feet 100 times in a game and that be comfortable for you. So valuable, so rare to see it as a fullback.
Just a luxury to have a player like Messer because he provides width. He also provides ability to make the right decision in the final third. The composed nature of his play is a massive addition to Bobby Murphy and what they want to do going forward. I know you mentioned it, Peyton, as well, but we're starting to see Union Omaha shift into a back three system. So now you have Wooten and Osham as the two center backs that pushes up, Akoff underneath, Botella Foz. So in that three-back system, you have width with your wing backs, but also you have a numerical overload centrally.
This is clean connection and sprinting away. Messer again. Ollie Wright needed a little bit more brightness in that moment. Botella Foz doesn't have the pace to sprint away like he maybe did once back in the day. And it's dug out.
Fantastic recognition from Punandron just to help in. And again, the pocket presence starts to come to fruition for Portland.
Kamara. Messer and Wright again. Kamara. Snappy passing. Kamara angling wide. Well weighted. Ollie Wright covering every blade of grass, reversing field. But that's a bad giveaway. Akoff off to the races. Akoff, a one-man army on a rampage. Overlap finally there. Akoff still going. Akoff coasting high. Not for lack of trying.
Does all the hard work here, Akoff, but now you need a little bit more composure in terms of your decision-making. Fantastic touch to come around the corner from Vinberg. But as you get squared, just notice Botella Foz in his movement. Bottom side of your screen, he's going to pull off to open up a passing range. You just need to play him. You're off balance, you're leaning back. That's why it goes up and over the crossbar. Little minute detail continues to lack for Union Omaha in the second half.
The amount of oxygen Akoff was sucking in. Maybe the corners of the vision were starting to blur a bit there. That's sweet stuff on the ball, though. Slipped in, Liotti on the scene. He goes down. Never going to get that call.
Clever run from Liotti, trying to split the difference in between both center backs of Hull and Coleman. Goes down far too easily. He's looking for it. Good no call by a referee. There's a little bit of the entanglement of the arms, but nothing in that whatsoever.
How about the heads up from Coleman to know he's beat for pace, just get contact.
That's the experience from the center back of Brent Coleman. The ability to read the game and drop down and put a body on his striker. Good defensive play.
As the temperature drops, though, on this early summer day, it's Portland's that are increasing the heat. This man is a large reason why. Both of them, Ollie Wright and Messer. This time they can't make it come good. Akoff. There's space on the other ends.
Great ball.
It falls for Wooten, who flashes by his man, but takes too heavy a touch.
And just a lack of decision making. Wooten does a nice job at getting himself into the attacking 18-yard box, but you have to get that second pass into Joe Gallardo. If you do, now you have an overload centrally for Union Omaha.
A year ago, that's the kind of ruthless moment where Omaha really made the difference in league play. Holstrom, it's summoned back. Rick Coleman saying he was interfered with in a way that is outside the laws of the game. Oh. Well, he's certainly got the scar to prove it.
I just want you to watch the right elbow of Leotti here. Right now. Send it away from his body. Really difficult to tell from that angle. Does catch Brent Coleman. Leotti's very lucky to not see yellow here. Or did he?
It does not appear now there is the official confirmation. You see the referee scribbling. There's no VAR, so it can't be revisited, but the referee is always invited to confer with the other officials, see what they saw, and then come back to something. Also appears that Bobby Murphy has been shown a yellow card as well.
There's a very big difference of using your arms to protect yourself, but once it gets extended and a little bit raised around that head area, that's when you are walking a very thin line. And just notice how high his right elbow is right there. He does catch Brent Coleman, and that's the best look that you will get.
Referee having a hard job. He's done a good job throughout the game, realistically, of making sure it's physical, it's contested, not over the line, but it's starting to get to a point where it's going to be hard for players to keep their heads. That will be the task. Just for the sake of accounting, with that booking, Leotti now joins several players that have had their name taken. Lopez and Vinberg, namely. On the other side, it's Schneider and Holtz, who have to be extra cautious. That time it's a fair challenge, though. It was aimed towards Leotti. It's a throw in for Portland. A little bit loose with the ball. Akoff's in behind again. That's witty from Hunter Morse. Akoff has really started to function as a true winger now.
Good ball.
Splitting lines. Springing forward. Laid in. Jensen's there. He arrives first. That is a matter of milliseconds as to whether or not Jensen's sent off, and it's a penalty if it's just a save and stop.
Fantastic recognition here from Cole Jensen. He gets the whole ball here. Would have been really difficult for our referee, Stephen Foster, to point to 12 yards out. He's right on top of the play. Tend to agree with him. Good no call yet again from pointing to the spot.
Also important to note, the linesman that was closest to that was on the opposite side of the field. Lopez.
But over the last two actions for Portland Hearts of Pine, we start to see a pocket presence a little bit more, and the whole game starts to open up. So if you are Dominic Casciato, now the message between Schneider and Martinez, you need one to stay a little bit more at home just to condense that space in front of your back line.
Picked up well. It really feels like that space has opened up in between lines ever since the shift to the back three.
Again, look at the left side of your screen. About a 10 to 15 yard gap between that midfield line and back line of Union Omaha right now. Right where Ollie Wright is operating in.
Here's Messer. Jensen. Thankful to find friendly fates. And Akoff's away. Ostrom providing the late option on the far side. Check that, that's Gallardo who's in. And it's just narrowly nicked away. Quinones was the one that was in the vicinity and got a toe to it.
Fantastic from Akoff in terms of his timing as he just slows the game down, allowing Joe Gallardo to slash across that near post. But this is flawless positioning from Quinones to get to his near side of his individual marker and beat Joe Gallardo to the spot. Great weak side defending.
Another corner for Union Omaha. Chelo Martinez casts his shadow within swing. Pins the goalkeeper, and Schneider, a free header. And the long arms of Hunter Morse are able to stymie any hope for Union Omaha. That was heart and mouth for Hearts of Pine.
Really well worked set piece for Union Omaha. Schneider's trying to do everything right and head it back across where it came from. In the end, easy save for Morse.
Just a friendly reminder of the danger posed from Union Omaha on set pieces. Ball straight in behind, it's Ollie Wright. Ollie Wright! The main man! It's 2! It's Portland pumping ahead 2-1.
It's a very similar goal to the initial one, a ball over the top, and now you just have a vertical threat of Ollie Wright. But I love the quickness to set his feet, takes his first touch, and just notice how he opens up his hips, which allows the angle toward that far post. Ruthless to get his brace, enough pace, enough power, and enough venom to push it by Cole Jensen. 2-1 here for Portland Hearts of Pine.
2 all-important goals in the league. It's not his first in front of these fans. They will remember it, though, maybe as if it is. And against the reigning champions, the new boys on the block, Portland Hearts of Pine, are roaring at home. A town and country goal. Something to savor for Ollie Wright. And a change being made as the smoke clears by Bobby Murphy, as Titus Washington will come on, placing JT Kamara. That substitution is provided by $3 Deweys.
You're Dominic Casciato, you're going to be really frustrated how you concede that goal. And there's no pressure on the ball of Punandra. You need to drop. You need to condense that space behind your back line just far too easily. Ollie Wright's able to run in behind and just be the difference maker.
I mean, Messer all but picked the ball up and ran away with it. I'm not sure the reaction is cleared for takeoff from Chelo Martinez, but it is a throw. Union Omaha all of a sudden finding themselves on the canvas. Another great claim from Hunter Morse.
Just look at the space in behind, no pressure. Nat needs to drop off right now. He realizes it too late, but how good of a ball is this from Punandron? To perfection on the dime. And then Ollie Wright doing what Ollie Wright does best when he's operating in and around that 18-yard box. Shows a really nice composure on his first goal, equally on his second. And he gets a hole-in-one.
That's for Dad. How hard is it to have that kind of finish in your locker as a forward like that from that tight of an angle? Answer that maybe in a moment. Hearts of Pine, other ideas. Ollie Wright was looking for the hat trick. Hit on the half volley and hammered skyward.
Just talks about his athleticism and body control. He's running full head of steam, full speed, the ability to set his feet and open up his hips, and almost gets his hat trick here. He has that beat. He just attacks that ball a little bit more aggressively and really asks some questions of Jensen.
Portland are readying one more change. They are bouncing up and down here in Portland, Maine. Wooten, well weighted wide. Swashbuckling to the end line is Akoff. He thought he had won a corner, but it's a goal kick. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM SC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. And a change being made, as it appears Mo Mohammed will come on. Brought in on a 25-day contract. A chance to really step into the spotlights here as he approaches the final quarter of an hour, replacing Messer. A big rolling of the dice from Bobby Murphy. That's brought to you by $3 Deweys.
Just the work rate of Messer was fantastic for Portland Hearts of Pine. Mohammed's going to give you more of a solid left back, not going to have the ability to venture up and be as aggressive as Messer. So if you're Bobby Murphy, you're just trying to lock this thing down and be solid defensively for the remainder 13+ here.
The ball did pass out over the line, and there's a player down. Just on that, conventional wisdom might be to shore things up the back, get the extra big bodies on. Bobby Murphy deciding to bring on the fresh legs up front to engage the ball higher. What's that speak to?
Just the aggressive nature, especially at home. He wants to play an attacking style of football. He wants these fans to come back at Fitzpatrick Stadium to really make this place a fortress that teams do not want to come and play. And the way that you do that is you continue the momentum. You put your foot on the pedal and you do not let up. So Portland Hearts of Pine, yes, you want to be solid defensively, but we're going to expect them to try to get their third.
12 long-lasting minutes for Portland to maybe get a vintage victory here on Father's Day in their first season of operation in the USL League One. It's much more than a kit and colors, and if you didn't know, now you're getting to. Away by Hunter Morse. Hopped in behind Akoff. Bit biteless on the ball in. Andrew away. There's a man down. No reason to force a stop and play for Portland Hearts of Pine. Ollie Wright. It's rude. It might be ruthless. Ollie Wright! In the simple beat of the hearts, 2 becomes 3, and Portland are flying. A hat-trick hero from Ollie Wright, the right man for the job.
Apologies necessary for Ollie Wright. Slippery, instinctual, and just plain out naughty. First touch out of his body, which gets his right foot around the ball. But this is something you cannot teach, just 1v1 ability. And to cap it off, the composure, the execution, and the ruthlessness to bend this around. Brent Coleman, no chance for Cole Jensen. Don't even know why he's diving. Hat trick at home, and Portland Hearts of Pine in the driver's seat in front of 6,000 plus in attendance.
It just makes you melt. Ollie Wright, enough said. Enough for them as well. A town and country goal. Count that, 3 of them. It was 1-0 at halftime. It isn't that anymore.
You and I were having the conversation that this game was just asking for someone to produce a little bit of individual brilliance. Ollie Wright heard that and did more. What a performance from the winger, especially in this second half, to get not only the players on the field behind him, but all the 6,000 in attendance here at Fitzpatrick Stadium.
And to do this no less to Union Omaha, of all people, as well. Unthinkable, but it is happening. And it is not over. This is where the moments of lost focus for Portland Hearts of Pine. The manager, Bobby Murphy, will like to see that improvement over this last 10 minutes of play. You have to wonder down the line, down the years, how much matters of the moments end up adding up for Portland Hearts of Pine. Looks like Ryan Jiba's come into the game, but nobody in attendance will forget the day Ollie Wright took the game by himself. And looking for more. Just enough done. It is a corner kick. And Brent Coleman, who's been battered and bruised today, has dropped to a knee. Coleman requiring a bit of attention. For confirmation there, with Jiba coming on, he replaced Holt. So a center back for a full back, and it's full go from Union Omaha. Tom's original corner kick. Look at Wada. Cool and calm. He's found a place to take a load off. Stop and play. A good time to tell you that you can watch the USL. You're doing it right now. You might as well keep doing it. USL Championship and League One are on the CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com to complete USL TV listings. Appointment television here in Portland. There is electric propulsion when they take the field. We saw it against Detroit in spurts. We see it again in the second half, and the capacity for this team to just take off 0 to 60 like that. It can't be missed.
And that's exactly what Bobby Murphy mentioned on our conversation with him, saying when we play here at home, there's a different type of mentality, there's a different type of intensity and energy within my squad, and it's to be expected. Watch out here.
Side eyes.
A little bit too early to go to the corner with 6 minutes remaining.
Union Omaha thinks they shouldn't have the opportunity at all. They're saying it's a throw. It is a throw. It's been about 90 seconds, and there will be a couple changes being made. Walter Varela coming on, as well as Mickey Riley. And there is a swan song for that man. And here is why everybody's up and clapping.
Right footer playing the left-hand side, so he always wants to come centrally, and every single one of his goals was different. A different type of class, the ability to go 1v1, body control, full speed to get his feet underneath him, and this is just 1v1 ability from about 40 yards out, and as he continues to be aggressive, just shapes it to perfection. What a goal, and what a hat-trick and performance for Ollie Wright.
How many players, not just in the USL, and Ricky, you played at the highest levels, can finish with that level of conviction with the left foot and the right foot the way Ollie Wright has done today?
Not many. Not many. And he just speaks about the quality for Bobby Murphy and Ollie Wright. And he was a player that came up on our conversation saying that he is technically sound, he is technically gifted, he can do a little bit of everything, but the next step in his progression is his decision making. To show the flair, to show the skill in the attacking third, because that's where you want your attacking players to express themselves. That's when you want them to take risks and really be the player that they are. Ollie Wright has taken that next step, especially here today in the second half. He was fantastic.
2 goals and 4 assists last year for Huntsville. He's had more goals than that in the last 45 minutes. Uplifts. Light as a feather for Portland Hearts of Pine. What a touch to take it down, but obtain the ball illegally. It was Titus Washington pushing off from Schneider. Mark Bronick has come on. Final alterations from Dom Casciano on a day where the game just got away from his side. Let's take the Union Omaha slant for a second. Is this alarm bells time at all for them?
I think defensively for Dominic Casciano, you're going to be really frustrated how you conceded these goals, especially.
A knock-on header stabbed away at the penalty spot down by Akoff. First entry was provided by Prosper Kasim, who's also checked into the game. That's a good touch from Jiba. Well-placed ball. Stumbling into the midst of the goalkeeper. Can't switch off now.
Just especially for Dominic Casciano, the second goal in particular. You need someone to put pressure on the ball. And if there is no pressure, the backline needs to recognize they need to drop a lot quicker. And can Cole Jensen be a little bit more aggressive at denying Ollie Wright that angle? And the third goal. Yes, it's a fantastic strike from Ollie Wright, but you cannot let an attacking player continuing to get closer and closer to the 18-yard box. At some point, you need to engage with him. You need to engage and put a body on Ollie Wright. If you don't, you'll get punished, and exactly what happened.
A little bit of a knock-on header. Falls kindly for Akoff to chase and is cleared. It all speaks to the thing you pointed out early on in the second half of play. First line gets broken by Ollie Wright. There's a huge pocket of space for him to run into, and that space is inhabited now by Portland Hearts of Pine. Able to step in and sniff it out is Brendan Knapp.
Good ball
That's a
here.
well-placed ball, yeah. It's going to sit up. Saved by Morse. It could have got interesting. Morse was not having it.
Great ball in from Joe Gallardo. Head up the whole way. Notice the spin on it, trying to roll it into the path of Botello Falls. And in the end, Green doing a good job at just not allowing the striker to get his body set, which allows Morse to come up and make a big-time save.
Gallardo, one last chance to reignite the interest without swing. He falls away and is slashed out. Titus Washington with fresh legs chasing it down. Has he won the whistle? He has. It's all coming up aces for the Hearts. That's a great way to endear yourself to the fans. Titus Washington, he had an assist in the previous game against Omaha. He's been the team leader in substitutes this year with 5 in the league, and that jolts is precisely why. Seven minutes is the official word of stoppage time. Brought to you by Visit Maine. A whole pack of Omaha players nesting around the ball. They go route one, Akoff. Let's see how bright his ideas are. Calvary arriving in by Gallardo, cutting in front. Whipped on, Morse dons the cape and dives it away.
Saw moments ago of Joe Gallardo, the ability to put in a dangerous ball in. Good header from Jiba, even better save from Morris. Notice the footwork to get himself across the face of goal and just time his jump to perfection. Big time save yet again for the goalkeeper of Portland Hearts of Pine.
Gallardo, it's a well-shaped ball, knuckle applied. Prosper Kasim, again by Gallardo. And this one charts out of touch for a goal kick, and the threat is relieved by Portland Hearts of Pine. Hunter Morse, what a performance in this last 10 minutes.
2 big-time saves to keep this lead intact for the home side. But these last couple minutes are a big warning sign for Bobby Murphy and his side. Yes, young, inexperienced. Yes, trying to create a culture here for Portland Hearts of Pine. You have to be able to see this game out. You have to be able to shut down any sort of dangerous opportunities for your oppositions, because you've gotten away with 2 actions right here just thanks to your goalkeeper.
I guess Hunter Morse has something against Owls. He's matched his career high that he set against Union Omaha here today. 6 saves total. But this is the big thing. How do you handle success now as a young team? Pause and play. The man of the match goes without saying. Presented by Trellis. It's that guy. Not the guy wearing the neat sweatshirt. That happens to also be the manager of Ollie Wright, who scored 3 today.
He's definitely sleeping with that ball tonight, Ollie Wright. Hat-trick. He's taking that home, having all of his teammates sign it. A day to remember for the young man.
Like a 5-year-old with a new toy. Stabbed away. It's a throw-in for Union Omaha, but not an inch given by Mickey Riley. Andron. Varela. Portland want more. Finally crowded off the ball, but it falls for Andron. He places one in the path of Riley. Mickey Riley. He's battered down. And it's going to be a free kick. A wince of frustration across the faces of everybody. The Omaha persuasion. It's just slipped through their fingertips today.
Just no need here from Knapp to try to go into this challenge that rash. You know exactly what Riley's trying to do. He's going to turn his back. And at the first feel of contact, going to go down and make the most of it. Professionalism, the dark arts of this game for Portland Hearts of Pine, just to continue to drain this clock to try to grab these 3 points here at home.
That's where the ball went. Had no idea. Mickey Riley latching on. Varela. Tick, 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 tick. Flags flying as if it were the first minute. Varela. Able to dart away. What a response for Portland. Unbeaten in the month of May, take one on the chin in Tennessee against Chattanooga. Scored 5 minutes into that game, and really just for the duration. Got a right beating from a very physical, very frustrating side in the Red Wolves. Come out today, get punched in the mouth again, but this is the response.
Showed the character of Portland Hearts of Pine against the reigning champions to go down in the way that they did. It would have been really easy just to hang their heads and just shrug their shoulders and just say, this game is not for us. But the character, the fight, and the belief, and again, whatever Bobby Murphy said at halftime, and you and I had the luxury to speak with him, and you know how passionate he is. He was getting into his side. He was saying things that we just wanted to get a reaction and just to show the intensity and what it means to represent this club struck a chord, because this second half of Portland Hearts of Pine, really similar to what we saw against Detroit City. They were fluid, they were audacious, they were taking their opportunities, and deservingly scored 3 goals.
No need for this now. Tempers flaring at the end. Last thing Omaha need is another player getting sent off. They felt the absence today of their center back, Marco Milanese. Was a little bit of a mash unit at the back, which could explain some of the defensive frailty in the second frame. No Samuel Owusu either. But just returning to Bobby Murphy. He stepped away from a job not many would have. St. Louis City to that program, a well-run organization, because he sensed what this program and this project could be and how he could fit into it. Days like this really validate all that trust, the belief, and just a guy that, as the game comes to its expiration, embodies what Portland are trying to do. Yeah, I think you could call it neat. On Father's Day, the league's titleist toppled. Portland Hearts of Pine are here to stay.
Fantastic result for the home side. Wanted to give the 6,000 plus in attendance something to cheer about. That second half was perfection. They were really difficult to break down. They took their chances higher up the field. For Bobby Murphy, you have to be very pleased with the 3 points that you take in your back pocket, and deservingly so.
The LL Bean play of the match. And it wouldn't take a genius to figure this out. There was a moment of genius, though, from Wright.
But just the aggressive nature to put the ball through the legs of Holt here and then continue his run with the composure. This touch right here sets him up for success. Puts it diagonally, able to just to run onto it and use Coleman almost as a shield in front of Cole Jensen. He can't see it. No stopping that, just finds that sight netting. Great look, great goal. Deserving play of the match, Wright.
Save of the match brought to you by Kennebec Savings. Hunter Morris had a collection of that. This is the most important to see it out.
It's a good ball to the back post from Jiba. Good header, even better save. And it's just a technical save, the footwork to get across and just to time his knee. And notice how he goes with 2 hands to push it wide of his far post. No nonsense goalkeeping. Great save for Morris.
Portland Hearts of Pine, full thrust and in gear. We'll pick through the bones of it on the other side of a break. 3-1, a result heard round the league on the day to close out the USL League One slates in this match week. Wright does it all by himself, but with the help of 10 friends, and then 6,000 behind that. Portland's resounding.
Partnership means a lot of things in this business, and that's the most important thing, is being in a business relationship with someone that you trust, and that's what Mimic does. We want to make sure that everyone is getting exactly what they need, and we want it to be a long-term relationship. At Mimic, we want to lower their total cost of risk, and we want to get those employees back to work whenever we can. At Mimic, we make workers' comp work better.
At PAPE, we've dedicated over 50 years to making sure you do better. That means better prices you can always count on. It means you'll find extensive inventory. It means you can expect top-notch service. And most of all, it means you'll work with a team that listens to what you need and makes it a priority. So why are we so driven to make sure you do better? Because at PAPE, the only thing we love more than cars is people.
They are certainly savoring here in Maine, where Portland takes it to Union Omaha. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and they take a heavy blow at the hands of the home side. Highlights from the match presented by Tom's of Maine. You know, Tom's of Maine is the original, and this was nothing but novelty as Union Omaha found themselves ahead in the first half. Akoff onside, and he makes his point from point blank.
Really well taken goal from Akoff. Times his run to perfection, and notice how he just slows himself down to get his feet underneath him. It's a composed finish to open up that far post, and you thought when the reigning champions took the lead on the road that they were going to continue with that momentum, but the second 45 was all Portland Hearts of Pine. Good ball over the top, and Azad Liadi continues his run, which pulls out both center backs. Good pick out here for Messer, and again, just 1v1 ability for Ollie Wright to send not one, but two Union Omaha players packing, and then the composed finish to beat Jensen in that near post. Great goal for Portland Hearts of Pine.
Lost in the lights of the performance by this man, a lot of the hidden margins that Maine manufactured so that Ollie Wright could see center stage, and boy did he, on into the 73rd. He would get his second.
Again, Poon Andron pulling the strings. There's no pressure on the ball right now, so the back line needs to drop off. It's far too easy for Ollie Wright to get in behind, but he makes this finish look a lot easier than what it is. What a ball that is, to perfection. But notice he's running full speed to get his feet right, open up his hips, and lift the ball to beat Cole Jensen's outstretched left leg. And then this is the one that gives him the hat trick, and it's the best out of all three of them. The audacity, the individual skill, and the ruthlessness to go through the legs, number one, continue his run, and this touch right here is exquisite. To get his hips around it, wrap his foot up and down on the ball to give it enough shape. Apologies are needed, Ollie Wright, because he just scored the goal of the week and almost the play of the year candidate in USL League One. Hat trick, Portland Hearts of Pine, 3 points in the bag.
Cole Jensen will have his face on a dartboard. Full-time stats brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. 4 shots on target, 3 goals. That conversion is pretty solid. Union Omaha better in the manufacture department, but the final product just was not there.
For Dominic Casciato, it's in terms of their identity. They need to figure things out in terms of the balance, because in that second half, they're getting pulled out of position all over the field, and their decision-making in the final third needs to be a little bit cleaner, and on the back, recognizing the dangerous areas of the field and how to operate it, because there's just too much experience and too much talent on this roster for Union Omaha to continue to drop points.
Omaha with Dom Casciato, 23-0-3 when they have more possession. Not often a team just dominates like that. Portland's case and points, they take it to Union Omaha and take it across the line with 3 goals and 3 points. Ollie Wright makes a name for himself and takes it again to Los Pujos on a day to remember. Here in Maine, folks, for our entire cast and crew, I've been Peyton Gallagher. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
Play of the year.